going on, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 675 of The O Show. We are live from the Hot Chick in Old Town Scottsdale, our riggers of live shows here at the Old Town in Scottsdale, Arizona. We are now presented by O-Snap Active Lifestyle. Have you ever tried one of these things?
I have not. What is it?
I'm going to give you, so it's an energy pack. So this one is the O-Snap Espresso Flavor Surge in a Snap. You snap it back, so right here, you snap it, you squeeze it, you share it. This will give you all the energy you have for your shows tonight, by the way, at CB Live. I'll take one with you, hold on. So O-Snap Active Lifestyle, follow them at O-Snap Active Lifestyle here, cheers to that. It's just energy. This one is like the espresso shot, so I'll get all that flavor in. Thanks to John Malott and Oswald Malott for allowing us to be ambassadors over at O-Snap Active Lifestyle.
I don't know why I wasn't expecting coffee, bro.
It's espresso flavor, I told you.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I was expecting like ramen noodle flavor. It's like a ramen noodle packet.
But this is Luis Alvarez, by the way.
Guys,
Comedian. He's performing tonight. He's opening for Brett Ernst at CB Live for the next 3 nights, right?
2 nights.
So through Saturday.
Yeah.
Through Saturday.
Mother's Day. We got Mother's Day on Sunday.
That's right. We got to take care of our mothers. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Back in New Jersey. Is your family here, or are they in
My mom lives in Casa Grande.
Really?
Yeah, she moved out to Casa Grande a couple years ago. And you know what the translation of Casa Grande is?
I do not.
Big house. She got a big house out there, bro.
Dude, I should have known that.
Yeah.
I'm a moron.
Casa Grande.
What did you graduate high school with, GPA-wise?
Oh, dude. I got through high school with D's and C's. I don't think I ever did
Cheers.
I don't think I ever did homework, bro. Like, ever in my life. I honestly don't know how I graduated. I cared so little about high school. The only reason, like, I would go to high school just to hang out with people, like hang out with my friends. My mom and my dad were like going through like a custody battle with me, like hardcore for like when I got to high school. So I had like, outside of high school, I had like no stability in my life, bro. Like the only stability I had was going to school, but like I would have to go to my mom's. I'd have to go to my mom's house on Monday, my dad's house Tuesday, my mom's house Wednesday, my dad's house Thursday, every other weekend with one of them. And so I just had like no like stable or like I had no what's the word? Like when you do something over and over again.
No knowledge on how to fix,
or not just like when I would come home, I didn't have a like a calendar, like, you know what I mean, like I didn't do
no routine.
No routine. I had no routine in my life at all, bro. It was fucking horrible.
Man.
Oh, can I cuss? Can we cuss?
You can say whatever the hell you want, man. I always love it when people ask me if I can cuss.
That's
You ever
hilarious.
see any of those Barstool shows? It's like, can I cuss? They're just like F, C, B.
Really?
You're like, whoa, calm down.
Oh my god.
Have you ever
Dude,
seen,
we're
like,
fucking drinking whiskey.
I know, if you ever see like
Yeah.
Pardon My Take, it's where all the secret comes out. You have a few boos, things get said, you know? We're talking about comedians before we started too, the ups and downs of certain comics. Who are some of your favorite comics to open up for?
My favorite, well, I have like different types of comics that I like to open up for. I like dudes that like, I like working with them because I love watching. It's like a comedy seminar, and I just got dudes that, you know what I mean, I like to kick it with. But Brett, the dude I'm with this weekend, I love Brett. When I first started before I even started doing stand-up, Brett was one of the dudes that was telling me like, yo, like you're a comic, like you need to start doing stand-up. And I always love when he comes into town. I love Bryan Callen's always good to me. Ian Edwards is a good hang. There's a bunch of dudes I like to kick it with. For the majority of comics that come through town are really cool people.
Do you know the name Nasia Marrero?
Never heard of her.
Really?
Nuh-uh. Who's that?
I think you've done shows with her.
Nasia?
Like Latino or Latina chick?
I don't know.
I'll show you a picture of
Yeah,
her.
let me see.
But I have a funny story. Dude, I'm almost positive you were on one of her stories.
I mean, I believe it, bro. I just... Yeah, I know
so she was on my show once, and it was over Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Love you, Nasia. This is a great
Yeah.
story. Within like the first 5 seconds, she like crossed her legs and completely flashed the camera. And she like knew it right away too. She was just like, "Did I just?" I'm like,
okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't intentional.
No.
She wasn't. Okay. Damn. That's crazy, bro.
That's hilarious.
you know Bobby Lee.
I love Bobby Lee and his buddies here tomorrow. actually.
Santino.
Yeah.
Bobby used to do this show. You know Asa Akira?
Yeah.
she would be on the show, they'd have a cam at her pussy. So it'd be their faces, and then in the corner, it was just a pussy cam.
That's classless.
But I'm pretty sure it got some extra viewers.
They got some extra tickets sold, got some extra viewers, everyone's making money.
There's a bottom line at the end of the day that we're pushing towards.
It's about making dollar bills, flipping dollar bills. That's funny though.
What a hard way to make a living, bro, right?
See, I feel like
I feel
like females as comedians is very tough.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like really attractive.
It's just so easy to go into the sex jokes. You know, I think like, and I've been writing jokes for 7 years now. I think I've written 2 jokes about sex.
Good for you, dude.
I don't think I've ever told someone the size of my dick on stage. But like, when I'm watching a female comic, and I don't mean to talk shit because I think there is some funny female comics, but it's every time you see a female go on stage, you're just like, all right, how long is it gonna take her to talk about her pussy?
Yeah. Especially with people like, not just open mics, but people performing at like local clubs out here. You see it all the time. Like if somebody gets 5 minutes, it's like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah, I just think it's low-hanging fruit, you know? Like, cause it's like when a female is comfortable talking about that stuff on stage, it's kind of almost like I'm one of the cool girls, you know, and it's just, you don't gotta be one of the cool girls. Like, stand-up's all about being yourself, you know, and figuring out a way to use your voice that you use off stage, on stage, and be able to get your sense of humor across that way.
It almost helps when everybody else is talking about those jokes too, because like you probably noticed it right away, like I have an easy out here. I just don't talk about sex jokes and I'll have their attention.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, everybody has like that type of demographic that they can easily go to, and it's just it's an easy way out. But I mean, that's not the legendary way to do it, you know.
Well, I did a few open mics and I performed at the House of Comedy a few times. So I got 5 minutes for it, and everybody else is telling their dick and fart and sex jokes. I'm just like, all I got to do is not talk about sex for the next 5 minutes. So I go up there and I'm like, didn't do too bad.
What was your structure like for like your set? Like, how long did you write before you went on stage?
Dude, that's the thing. I barely wrote out anything. I'm like, I'm gonna tell a few stories because. Mainly, like, I was trying open mic nights just to try it. I'm like, stand-up comedy is probably the most difficult thing I'm ever going to do. I may as well try it. I have a ton of friends who are comics. But then one night, my buddy Daniel Bridgegad invited me to do 5 minutes at the House of Comedy for one of his shows. So I'm like, okay, the clubs, people are actually looking to laugh. So I'm like, I don't think I have to try that hard. Yeah. And I see every other comic who's performing that night writing out their material and their notepads. I'm like, should I have been prepared? So I get up and I'm just like, yeah, so if like any of you want a piss break right now, this is the set to do it, basically. I'm not a comic or anything. Like all these guys are writing jokes.
Get the self-deprecation out the way.
But I just told a few stories, you know, like based on that's what it is.
Funny stories though?
Funny stories based on your own experiences. Like basically,
it's not like you have to remember the writing when you're just telling a story, you know?
Exactly, right? I was just being like a cocky, arrogant douche, like playing the character.
When I first wrote my first set, I was like, all right, 5 minutes. Like, a minute is pretty easy to talk about one subject, you know? So I was like, okay, we'll do a minute about ethnicity. We'll do a minute about family. We'll do a minute about drugs. We'll do a minute, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just broke it all down into a minute. And then when you try to do that, you realize a minute isn't enough. So you're just like, okay, let's just do 2 minutes about work now. You know what I mean? 2 minutes about family, and then a minute about topical. So I kind of like, I broke it up like that. And then slowly, each subject, I would add an extra tag. So now I would have a whole 5 minutes about family. I'd have a whole 5 minutes about topical. I'd have a whole 5 minutes about ethnic jokes. And that's kind of how I dissected it when I first started writing. Yeah. But before I started doing stand-up, bro, I wrote for like 6 months.
Were you one of those guys that would write out like an entire script? And try to memorize
when I first started doing stand-up, I wrote down, hey, what's up, guys? You know what I mean? How we doing? I wrote that at the top of the page.
Phoenix!
Yeah, bro.
Get the cheap pops.
My God. Bro, I went back. I found one of my old phones with my old iCloud. And, bro, some of the jokes that I wrote were so stupid. Like, I couldn't even believe it was the same person writing it. But, you know, you don't know how the sausage is made. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like now I just... I get my best jokes from just on the phone with like my brother or something like that. Just like something that makes my friends laugh, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny, and I'll take it on stage, and then it'll grow on stage. Yeah. But That's why I didn't even know you went up into stand-up. That's cool though.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
And it's not great either. But I have all the
I know,
recordings.
trust
I'm like,
me.
you know, Reese was headlining that night. He's just like, not bad. You got a lot of work to do, a lot of work ahead of you, but not
Reese.
bad.
Yo, Reese will tell you if you bomb, bro.
Which I
Yeah.
love it too.
That's
I
hilarious.
remember getting there that night. I'm like, hi Daniel, hi Tristan, and Reese is there. He's like, you're performing tonight?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right.
Have you had
good
Reese
luck."
on your show?
I don't know.
No.
I don't think so.
I love Reese. He's the man.
He's awesome, dude. Because I remember I did the Final Stop podcast with Tristan and Daniel, and I called out Tristan because he was there the night you guys opened for Rogan, but
yeah.
he forgot to take a picture with Joe
Yeah,
Rogan
he
where
took-
you guys did.
Bro, he took off so early, and in my head I was like, why don't we
Yeah.
all get a flick? I don't know why he bounced out so early.
We're like, I'm like, did you get a picture with him? He's like, and immediately everybody else starts
Yeah.
dying. They're like, we've been giving him shit for that for like the last 10 days.
I should have just said I didn't see him there. Like, yeah, Tristan wasn't there.
I
No
immediately
picture?
was like, well, Reese took a picture with him. I saw Luis took a picture with him, and he's just like, dude, stop. All right, I've already heard
Bro,
it.
that was such a surreal night. Like, honestly, like, because you listen to Rogan, you're a podcast
Well,
dude.
here's the like, do you look at Joe Rogan as a comedian, or do you look at him as like the #1 podcast in the world?
Both. He's funny, bro.
I think he's hilarious on
Like-
his show when he's just shitting back and forth with people. I don't think
Oh,
he's
for
the
sure,
the
for
funniest
sure.
stand-up comedian in the world.
Well, you know, I feel like there's few people that translate to specials.
Yeah.
I can't watch specials, bro. Like, I have to watch stand-up live, like, to see really how good you are. But I think Rogan translates really good, but it's probably because he has a super big production behind him, you know?
Yeah.
But I think Rogan translates really good to specials. But in person, that night, that fool was killing, bro.
You think?
He was on point. Like, I was like, this is one of the funniest dudes I've ever seen. Like, the way he rocked that fucking crowd, you know, it's Joe Rogan, so the expectations this high, he blew that shit through the roof, bro. I had so much more respect for him after that. And then when he got off stage, I gave him a tag, and like, he was a straight comic. Like, oh, dude, I never thought about. Got out his phone, wrote it down. He's like, yeah, I kind of. And then he starts building. We start going back and forth, building on a tag. And I was like, bro, this is everything I ever dreamed of doing.
That's
with
what
this guy.
everyone always says. Like,
Yeah.
he is in love with stand-up
Oh,
comedy.
for sure.
Like, he'll pick brains of people that are just opening up
Yeah.
for him, like young kids like
Yeah.
you that are getting into it.
You know, his friends too. Like, you know, we have a lot of mutual friends, and you'll never hear anybody say, and I know it's not just because they're dick riding because they want to get on the show. Everybody will say that Rogan is fucking hilarious, bro. He doesn't get enough credit. The podcast overlooks how good of a comic he is. But like, you see him, like the insight that he has on whatever topic when he's just talking. You know, like, he has that same mind when it comes to writing his jokes. You know, he has a special point of view, bro.
So when he got back to the green room and you guys were just kind of like chatting it up, what's it
Yeah.
like? Like, what's your mindset
my-
going into that? Like, do
bro.
you have like a prepped, like, what I'm going to say to him, like what I want to get out of this
Dude.
conversation?
I talked to Rogan not after he got off stage. It was nonstop for 2 hours. Like, there was no lull in the conversation, bro. We were talking about everything. I thought I'd talk to Joe
It's
Rogan
almost
about.
like a full
We're talking about
Experience
aliens.
podcast.
We're talking about drugs. We're talking shit about Carlos Mencia. We're talking about Aztecs. Like, it was the best, bro. Like, I remember me and Reese got home that night, and we were just like, damn, that shit really just happened.
Like, you guys are roommates thinking like, we just got to chat it up for 2 hours
He
with
took us out
arguably
to
one
dinner
of the
and
most famous
shit, you know?
people in the world.
Bro, I've never been around anybody that famous. I don't think I'll ever be around anybody that famous.
You watch.
No, bro.
We're
Like,
still young, dude.
Well, we were hanging out on the UFC weekend, like, because he came to do guest spots with us and Tony, because they were doing the UFC at Talking Stick Resort.
Yeah.
So everybody's around for the UFC that weekend. So when we left the comedy club, bro, we had like a crowd of 40 people following us, and we had these Navy SEALs like blocking everybody out, bro. It was like, I felt like I was with the president, bro. It was crazy.
See, the more and more you talk about it, the more and
Yeah.
more like Tristan, I'm like, why, dude? Why did you leave early? Why didn't you take a picture with the guy?
They super turned the music up, huh?
Yeah, he wasn't there.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't there. I didn't see him.
I thought that was hilarious the first time I heard it, dude.
You know, Tristan, he got some bars in though in the combo. He had Rogan cracking up.
Yeah, that's got to be
Yeah.
tricky because like it's the three of you. Who
Yeah.
else was there? Was it just?
It was me, Reese, Rogan, Tony, Tony had what's the redheaded dude from Kill Tony? You know what I'm talking about? William.
Yeah.
William, and some other dude from San Jose. But it was all comics in there.
Because all of you guys, I would even throw William Montgomery in that mix, where he's just like kind of.
Oh, bro, he's a wild boy. Yeah, he's a wild boy, bro.
Like all of you guys are kind of like under the wing, under the tutelage of one of the all-time greats for a few hours.
Yeah.
You're all biting for his time. I feel.
Yeah.
Like. It's got to be difficult.
Honestly, because before they had one show before I got there, so I got there for the second show, and Reese and Tristan were telling me like, yo, we weren't talking at all, but I mean, I could talk to anybody, bro. I pulled up in there as soon as Rogan got off stage. We started talking about tags, and then from there, like, we were just talking. But Reese and Tristan were saying, like, yeah, nobody was really kind of talking to him. He was kind of just in there, like, letting his dick hang and just kind of, alpha mailing everybody. But
it's tough. Like, if you don't have that skill where you don't feel confident, like, oh, I could go up and talk to anybody about anything. It's like you don't want to bother.
Luckily, I had the tag, like, and that's what initiated the whole conversation for the rest of the night. And then, unfortunately, I've opened up for Carlos Mencia like 4 times in my life, bro. So I had a lot of shit to talk about with him. He was bringing up the Carlos shit first, and then we were just we were going through his Instagram. We was laughing at this motherfucker, and then from there we was talking about everything, bro.
That's a night you'll probably never forget. A night a lot of people can't experience.
You know what the funniest part is though is that you hear all these stories about comics talking about like when you open up for Rogan, you go to this crazy steakhouse, it's unlimited steak,
yeah,
whatever.
Where'd you guys go?
Chiba Hut. This fool took us to Chiba Hut like a side bitch, bro. But it was so fun. We had a good time. It was so funny to go to Chiba Hut and seeing all these people like lose their minds, like Joe Rogan's in Chiba Hut.
With a bunch of kids.
Yeah. It was a bunch of like white kids with dreadlocks and like chicks with blue hair, just like. I could see some people were like, this was after the anti-vax stuff, you know what I'm saying? So there was a couple of people like judging Rogan and shit, but the majority of everybody was like, they were like tripping out that this motherfucker was really in there.
Yeah, dude, this is like what, early 2022?
This was like a year ago. This was in
like around this time.
I think it was in March. I think last March. I think it was last March.
Jeez, dude. And now
Crazy.
Tristan's in New York.
Yeah.
Do you plan on staying around here for a long time, or do you plan on moving around?
I want to buy a house, bro. So I just got a new job. So I'm gonna be doing this shit. Like me and my mom started a little business, and it works perfect with my schedule for like traveling on the road and stuff. So I'm just gonna try to get some property, and then it's different now, bro. You don't have to be in LA, you don't have to be in New York. Like you have, like social media is.
Social media can be, yeah.
You could do whatever you could do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like you can, like you don't even need a manager anymore, bro. Like I can literally DM any club or any comic on my own.
All of the people I get on my podcast, I DM. Like you'd be amazed. Like people with millions of subscribers get back to me. They're like, just message my publicist. I'm like, great.
Yes, paying 10% for what? Who are you gonna pay 10% when you can just do this shit yourself? So the game is changing. So I think I'm gonna stick around a little bit longer than I intended to.
Where would you move?
I don't like acting. I really don't care to act at all. So I feel like the only reason you would go to LA is to act and do stand-up. So I'm thinking about Austin.
Austin would be a good spot. I'm going to Austin next weekend.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you gonna go check out some shows?
I hope so.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. Nasi is out there, so maybe I'll connect
Yeah.
with her.
Oh yeah. That's where I met her at.
There's so many people in Austin now, anyways. So.
I was talking to Shane and Shane
Gillis.
Yeah. Shane was he was telling me, he's like, that's the move for you. Like if you're gonna move anywhere, go to Austin. So.
Shane is like the guy now.
Yeah.
He's like the up-and-comer.
That motherfucker's making money, bro.
He's what Theo Vaughn was like 7 years ago, where he's like up and coming. Now, like he's the guy.
Bro, that like I don't know if you've seen their Patreon, but like they make bread, bro. And then those road dates, he's selling out. He's doing theaters now. You know who I just linked up with that I'm gonna start doing dates on the road with is McClusker. You know Matt? Matt's fucking hilarious, bro. I love Matt so much.
Oh yeah. There's so many good up-and-coming comedians out there, and like even the guys that are more established that are finally getting their due.
That's what it is, like, cause they've been around for a while, but it's just like they finally got the right platform, you know? Like, you know, when Shane got dogged out for SNL, that's the best thing that could have happened to him, you know? Because he was gonna have to like retract how funny he really is. And that just gave him extra hype to see what he was doing the whole time.
Well, that's what got him with Pete Davidson in his new show, Bupkiss. Have you seen that?
Nuh-uh.
So Shane Gillis is a character, he's a cast member on that show.
Wait, whose show? On Shane's show?
Pete Davidson's show. It's called Bupkiss, and it's about Pete Davidson's life.
Oh, I just seen a
And
commercial
Shane
for
Gillis
that.
is like part of his posse in Long Island.
Oh, sick. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, those dudes are sick, bro. I never met Pete, but his squad, like Jordan Rock. What's the other fool's name? I opened up for him a couple months ago. He's like a Puerto Rican dude or like light skin.
I wouldn't know his name, honestly.
Ricky Velez.
There you go.
Ricky's a cool dude. They got a good squad over there. And it's like, it's the way that they have the swag. It's like, it's just a little bit cooler than the Hollywood cats. You know what I mean? They got the New York swag, but they got good visuals for everything they do. You know, like I wouldn't say it was the best movie, but the King of Staten Island.
Yep.
The visuals were dope, bro. You know what I mean? Like it just looked great.
The thing about Pete is that everything that he does, show-wise, documentary, movie, it's like all about his life.
Yeah.
You know, which is kind of cool. It's a
Yeah,
different
for sure,
perspective.
for sure.
Because like you have the people that love Pete Davidson, and then you have the people that are like, I don't get it at all.
Well, and then he's not really acting.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're just being Pete.
Yeah.
Like, what's the big deal? But he's like probably the most beloved guy
It's
in
like
entertainment.
Larry David. You know what I mean? Like
Larry's
it's just,
hilarious.
It's
though.
just like an exaggerated version of himself. You know?
Have you seen his show?
Curb?
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Curb is the best show ever, bro.
It's
I don't
amazing.
ever want to act, but the only thing I would want to be in is Curb.
He's hilarious.
Oh, bro. Some of the
There's something about that like sarcastic, cocky, asshole humor that I just.
well, he's who you want to be. You know, you really wish you could actually be like that. Like when people are annoying you, you wish you could be that dude.
Like Martin Short perfects that, I think.
Who's that?
He's him and Steve Martin, the original SNL crew.
Oh,
he's
okay,
like the
okay.
short guy. If you ever saw like Santa Claus 3, he was the guy who played Jack Frost.
No, I don't think I
I
have.
can't. For all of my Martin Short fans, that's probably the worst analogy, worst example ever. But you know him if you looked him up. Just brilliant. Just goes on like Conan, Jimmy Fallon, just makes fun of them. He's
Did
like,
you ever watch Seinfeld?
Seinfeld's incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked Larry David actually never made like a
Cameo?
on-screen
Yeah.
appearance in that show. Considering he
I
lived
never watched Seinfeld, but obviously it's fucking, you know, it's one
it.
of
What do
the
you think of Jerry?
No, it's not my style, you know. This, you know, when comics or like a lot of people say like, oh, that guy's not funny. It's not for you, bro.
Yeah.
You know, if people come out and they laugh, that's all it's about, bro.
That's Martin Short.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you know who he is.
Where the fuck do I know him from? Let me see. Oh, you know who I'm also confusing him with is if you want my body, if you think I'm sexy. Who's the white guy? He was like R&B singer. He's a
White guy who's an R&B
Oh,
singer?
bro.
Those people exist?
Hold up, right here. This dude right here.
We're gonna have to put up a lot of visuals in this
Yeah, you're
podcast.
gonna laugh your ass off. Hold on. If you think I'm sexy.
What do you think of Gabriel Iglesias' last special? Rod Stewart, of course.
He kind of looks like Rod
He
Stewart,
kinda
doesn't
does.
he?
Rod
Hold up.
Stewart still has that hair too. He's
Yeah.
like 75 years old.
That's your boy right there, Santa Claus.
That's right, Jack Frost, baby. That's like
Um,
the most mediocre role he ever played in a movie. That's the one that I know him from.
That's like saying you know Robert De Niro, the guy that's in those shitty comedy movies. I love Gabriel. Gabriel's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure, dude.
Yeah, he's Gabriel is one of the first dudes that ever, his squad or one of the first dudes that ever took care of me and told me like, yo, come out and do road gigs, like get out of Arizona, like come see the rest of the country.
Well, that's the thing. Whether you're like a comedian, a musician, it's like it's easy to get in like the circles that you're in and perform at the same clubs or the
Yeah.
same restaurants, or like if you're a musician, the same bars every night. Like,
Yeah.
expand yourself. Go to the big cities. Go to New York.
You gotta be
City.
universally funny. So like to get a bag in this game, like you can't just have, I mean, but there are some dudes that have like, they got their little corner, they got their little niche, and they do good. But like, you know, I don't consider myself a Mexican comic. you know? Like, I just want to be a comic. I want to make everybody laugh. You know, like, some of the proudest moments of my life was, like, going to Huntsville, Alabama, and, like, doing my thing. Going to Naples, Florida, just, like, not my people.
Yeah.
But they are my people, you know what I mean? Because they just want to see comedy.
That's the thing about comedy, it's so subjective. It's like you need to please audiences in Naples, Florida, or you have to go to Arkansas and really vibe with that audience, and that crowd is completely different. You have to adapt a little bit.
Dude, you know, and a lot of it is it's age. You know, like certain ages have their styles. Like, bro, older people love dirty jokes. Like, as much as like you could like walk into a room, you see like a bunch of old people, and you're like, oh man, like I can't cuss or something. No, they want to hear jokes about race. You know what I mean? Like those are the people that love Dice Clay. You know what I mean? These old motherfuckers. So it is entirely subjective, but like you can get anybody if you really want to. You know, you could switch your style up to make anybody laugh if you're really universally funny. And like I said, the universally funny comes from traveling the country. You got to go everywhere, and you gotta bring in all of America. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to have all of America have something that that you guys can vibe with each other with. You know what I mean?
When it comes to like getting in certain circles, because you talk about, I think every single comedian who gets into the industry and the comedians that get successful in the industry, you said it yourself, a little bit dysfunctional. Everybody, for better or for worse. You know, that's what makes you successful. Some comedians you talk about, like a Gabriel or a Joe Rogan, who brings you in, takes you out to dinner, treats you well. Like, I've been through it too. We all want to get to the top, right? But at the same time, I'm sure it's hard to get into those inner circles per se. Like, what have you found in your experiences?
Bro, if you have respect for the game and you're really trying to be good at this, like at the end of the day, like dudes like Rogan, like he holds on to stand-up, you know what I mean? Like he just opened up the new club, you know, he brought all these people out there. He wants to be known for stand-up. So as long as you're good at stand-up, like you'll be on his radar. You know, like it just comes down to like, how bad do you really want to be like not known for fucking, you know, cringe shit on Instagram, but like on stage, joke writing, jokesmith, wordsmith, being funny. That's how you get into these, you know, like, cause you could get contracted at the club to open up for anybody. And if you suck, you know, nobody's gonna look at you, nobody's gonna double take at you. But if they get on stage and they're like, whoa, like I gotta work, they're gonna remember you. They're gonna invite you out to a drink, you know? So it's just all about how much you're dedicated into, you know, being legendary, being good, you know what I'm saying? Like being a professional in this game.
Do your job first.
Yeah, no, exactly. Do the job first and then worry about, you know, all that shit later. Cause all that shit just comes with, you know, the work that you put in. And I feel like a lot of people, like, I don't know what their thought process is. Like they think that they can, you know, go around the blueprint that everybody else has done. You know, there's no shortcut to this shit, bro. You know?
Do you see anybody like that though?
I mean, you see a lot of people like that. You know, like how many people have you seen?
But those that have gotten like success, who kind of just piggyback off of people. Like obviously, there's a few local people everywhere that probably get by on certain things.
Anybody that's selling tickets that has a Netflix special, they didn't piggyback. You know what I mean? They put the time in. So that's like I said, there's no cheat code to it, bro. You know, Bill Burr still does 10 sets a week. You know, like you got to just try to be good.
Bill Burr's a guy who like didn't make a dime for like the first 4 years that he did it, dude.
I mean, bro, Bill is, when it comes to like comics, like last night we had a conversation about Bill Burr. Like Dave Chappelle is cool, but everybody, Bill Burr's that dude, bro. You know, when it comes to the political climate or just being able to explain your emotions like that, like, you know, when you see Bill on stage, he's pissed, you know what I mean? But he finds a way to turn that angst that we all deal with into fucking funny, bro. And it makes it easier to deal with this shit now because now you know you can laugh at it.
He's my two favorite comedians. Bill Burr, who's just completely off the cuff.
Yeah.
Jim Gaffigan, who's completely just straight.
Dude, I've never seen
buttoned
Jim.
up.
I've never seen Jim before. I hear the best things about that dude though.
It's just dad humor, dude. It's just like, I'm a fat guy who eats a lot and I have 5 kids.
Does he cuss?
No.
No? No cussing?
It's kind of like Nate Bargatze, another guy.
Bargatze's funny.
Nate Bargatze's the perfect mix of Jim Gaffigan and Bill Burr, where he has Bill Burr's like intentionality and you feel it, but at the same time he's clean because he has a young daughter.
He has a cult following too, bro. Like, you know, like there's no shortcut to that. You know what I mean? Getting people to fuck with you like that, bro. Like that, those dudes are putting in the work, man. And like I try to do the same shit as much as I can, bro.
Who are the comedians that got you into it growing up?
Obviously, like Pablo Francisco, George Lopez, Martin Lawrence.
I had Lopez on the podcast.
Did you?
Yeah.
How was that?
Cool guy.
Was he?
We just talked Guns N' Roses the entire time. Because he's like friends with Slash. So I'm like, let's just talk music. I try to talk to people about just like interests that they have.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows you're a comedian. Everybody knows George Lopez is a comedian.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna talk to him.
Yeah. That's awesome. Did you have to pay for that? How did that work?
No, dude. Honestly, to this point, I have not paid for any interviews that I've done.
Damn. You gotta.
Things will change.
Yeah.
When I have Theo Vaughn, did I tell you Theo Vaughn? Yeah. So like, it'll change, but as long as it's within reason. Sebastian Maniscalco's team was the same way. They were like, he's kind of busy right now with the movie with De Niro and everything, but maybe like in a year, reach back out and I'll talk numbers.
Bro, you know what's crazy about Sebastian? I heard so many people say that when Sebastian first started, nobody thought he was gonna be shit.
That's what I hear, dude. Especially with like the mannerisms and everything, everybody's like, what the hell is that?
I heard a couple people say like they wrote him off. And now that motherfucker sells out MSG, you know, 3 shows at MSG sold out. Motherfuckers that sell out Staples Center, like that shit is crazy. And I really like, we were having this conversation last night. I fuck with Italian comics. I fuck with Italian movies. You know, I don't know Robert De Niro. I always fantasize the characters that he portrayed in those Scorsese movies because it's just immigrant mentality. You know what I mean? Like I'm Mexican, like they're Italian, but like it's that immigrant, it's that immigrant mentality that they got. That a lot of Mexicans, even black people, like a lot of black people, like they you know, we put those dudes up on a pedestal, that lifestyle, that cool gangster lifestyle, you know?
It's like almost easy to relate to all those mafia movies,
Yeah.
like The Sopranos and stuff. You see like Joey Diaz in those movies.
You know, I thought Joey Diaz was Italian for the longest time. His last name's fucking Diaz. I thought he was Italian, bro. But you know, it's just it's New York. It's that New York, that East Coast shit.
My dad always sends me reels of Joey Diaz, just like, get out of fucking bed, you fucking pussy.
That's hilarious.
You're fucking whining. I'm like, oh, geez, sorry, Joey
My
Diaz.
I don't think my dad likes Joey.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. Well, not that like they have beef or anything. I just don't think like that's his like style. Like every time like I'll send him Joey Diaz clips and be like, why is he screaming? So fucking.
He's
funny.
too intense.
Yeah, he's just
he's
like,
got that smoke like that giant Adam's apple.
He's just like, why is he screaming so much? He's like, all right, Dad, chill out.
I always love it when Rogan invites on like the friends, like the Burt Kreischers and the Callens and the Joey Diazes.
Yeah. No, they got you know, I feel so fortunate doing stand-up in my era because, and I have so much more respect for their class because they weren't listening to podcasts, and like I learned so much game from the Rogan podcast. You know what I mean? Like they kind of just audio blueprint. Like, what do you have to do? You know what I mean? You got to start doing open mics. You got to start hosting.
Right.
Then you can start featuring on the road. And you start doing, like, you know, I learned all that from them. And they figured that shit out without the podcast. Like, so you got to give those dudes their flowers, bro.
And one day, people are going to be giving you your flowers for everything that you're doing.
We'll get it, man. And me, like, I fantasize about being able to do the things that my older homies have done for me, for comics and stuff like that. But it has to be someone that's worth it, you know? Because there's a lot of people that just like they're just hobbyists, bro. It's not a hobby no more.
Do you see that often, like comics just kind of like sitting at the table watching other comedians, local comedians, and they're just writing down jokes, writing down material, thinking like, oh, that's good, I'm going to write that down. And
are you saying like stealing?
I'm not saying stealing, but I'm saying making it their own almost. So yeah, kind of stealing.
Well, that comes with being lazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're trying to, it's a shortcut.
I also feel like local comedians, you all are trying to help each other out, or at least that's the mindset.
We try to help
going
out
in.
people that are trying
Like,
to work.
You lose respect if
Yeah.
someone does that.
Well, if someone is really working, and I'm not gonna waste my time giving you a tag if I feel like you're lazy. You know what I mean? But like if I see that you're really trying to get it, I'll sit there and watch your set, and I'll try to give you a tag. You know, because you know some of my favorite jokes, like that's what comedy is. You know, some of my favorite jokes are tags that another funny comic gave me, and it's just like a collective. It's a hive. You know what I mean? Like we all just help each other out. But it's, you know, I'm not gonna take a fucking tag from some dude that's giving me a lazy tag. You know, like it's from dudes that like really wanna they wanna help the joke. You know, they wanna be a part of a funny joke.
I feel like once you get into it, you know who's real and who's not. Like who's going to make it.
That's any industry. It's any industry. It's not just comedy. You know what I mean? Like you could tell people that are they're just there. Taking up space.
There's people I went to school with who aren't even in journalism anymore. I'm like, why not? Like, you guys quit too early on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing this till the day I die, hopefully.
Oh, so you were just straight journalism. Wow, congratulations, bro. Yeah. You the man, bro. That's dope.
I was the runt.
So what were you trying to do? Were you trying to be on 60 Minutes? Were you trying to be on the news? Like, what was the vibe?
My goal when I was 5 years old, I was watching that. I was watching baseball, right? I wanted to be a play-by-play commentator. I did that with ESPN. I did it in college. And then I started this as a resume builder 7 years ago and just ran with it. I'm like, I get to host my own talk show. I'm going to talk to whoever I want. And then when COVID hit, it's like, I'm going to reach out to the big names because they're not doing anything.
Well,
and that's where I got all those
That's what we were
names.
saying about, like, social media. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need these motherfuckers. You know, you're just you now. You can literally just be you. You bet on yourself.
That's right.
Let the little fish go, and you got the big fish now.
That's right, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever you define as big fish, right?
Yeah.
Who's the big fish that you want to open up with
We're
one
at
day?
the hot chick right now at 3 p.m. Come on. You made it, bro.
Dude, no one's here. I will tell you that right now. There are
This shit is
1, 2,
packed.
3, 4, 5, 6, 12 people here.
I just love how all these people showed up right when we started recording.
I know. Well, there's the bachelorette parties and the divorce. I guess they have divorce parties. I didn't know those existed. I'm never gonna have one of those. I don't know about you.
You know what?
I don't plan on having one of those.
You know, every bachelorette party is eventually just a divorce party. You know what I mean?
I guess.
What are your thoughts on marriage? You gonna get married?
I hope so.
Yeah?
Marriage and kids is something that a lot of people, including a lot of the people I surround myself with, look at as like the end game almost. We're like, once you get married and have kids, that's just the next phase of discipline that you got to go through, right?
I mean,
for me, it's like I'd love to have it one day, but it's also not like I'm not forcing
You're not
it.
done being you yet.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna force it either.
Yeah.
That stuff happens on its own. Like,
Do you got a lady?
Stuff, it's not gonna happen. I don't.
No? Good for
I'm
you.
far away from those.
Yeah?
From that goal.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, I gotta go right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long?
8 months.
That's serious, dude.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I was in a 10-year relationship,
A decade long,
decade-long relationship.
and you guys split up.
Yeah, bro.
That has to be
Oh, yeah,
devastating.
It
in the
was.
first few months.
It really was. It was really devastating, and you know, some things. It was my fault for sure. You know what I mean? But like, it was a learning experience, and unfortunately, like, it was a learning experience that, you know, had to have like negative emotions for a while, or like negative impacts. But like, that's just life, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta go through it.
So when you guys started dating, how old?
My girl was a freshman. I was a junior.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's how old are you now?
28.
God, that's like a lifetime, and you're still not even 30.
Yeah.
That's impressive, dude.
Yeah, bro. It was listen, it was cool. You know, it was love is dope, bro. You know.
And at 10 years, you got to think like this is the person. Like,
bro,
there's no way.
you don't give people enough credit for being in relationships. That's a win. You know, sticking with someone for 10 years, that's fucking awesome. You know. And I got nothing but love for my ex and stuff like that. But you know, it's just new things get old, bro.
Wow. Well, you're in a happy place now.
Oh yeah,
8
we
months
cool.
long.
Yeah, we cool.
That's. I mean, compared to 10 years, I guess that's.
You know where I and I'm not saying like my last relationship there was anything wrong. Like my ex, she was a saint.
I feel like you guys went through like a dozen different stages in life, from 18 to
for
frickin'.
sure, bro. For sure, bro. I went from 2-bit drug dealer to touring comic with this chick. You know what I mean? So it was cool. Like, the experiences were awesome. But I'm happy in the place I'm at right now. Like I think I could like work. I wouldn't be in a relationship unless the end game now was to get married and stuff like that. You know, like I feel like my last relationship, like I was putting off like marriage and like kids. You know what I mean? And now I'm kind of just like, well, why am I going to be in a relationship if that's not the end goal? You know, so now that I got that in the back of my head, I learned a lot of my mistakes from the previous relationship. I'm just like, you know, let's do it right this time.
I feel like it's very rare for people to have like a one and done scenario where it's like, oh yeah, my first girlfriend was a girl I married.
Well, bro, honestly, it could have been that way, but like, you know, I was just being stupid, you know? I was just being dumb, and I was just out of pocket, you know, and a lot, not even just my relationship, just like a lot of bad habits in my life that like bled into your relationship. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything in your life, you know? And my whole life I've just had to learn the hard way, you know, and it's just, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what, but I'm just like, you know what, like, I don't need to be doing that, you know? I don't need to be wilding out.
The hard way is the only way to find out.
Yeah, oh, for sure, bro. Yeah, it's wake up, you know, the wake up call.
I'm glad you're happy now.
Oh man, yeah. So what's up with you though? You're
Completely single.
completely single.
Believe it or not.
So what is
I host a podcast.
So what is completely single though? Like is completely
Not
single,
even like nobody on my radar, nothing. I actually
None?
live with 3 girls.
Whoa.
I always tell people I live with 3 girls. They're my best friends in the world.
Yeah.
They're like sisters to me.
Okay.
But some people are like, oh, well, what if you get drunk one night and something happens?
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's not
No.
that way.
So you're telling me you're dry? Really?
Yeah.
This bro rocking the cross. Let's go. Yeah.
For all the sinners out there.
Oh, dude.
That's right, dude. We both have gold crosses. I got baptized 3 weeks ago.
Did you?
I did.
Wow.
Yep.
What are you Christian?
I am.
Okay.
Grew up Catholic only because that's what my parents raised me as, but we didn't go to church unless it was like Christmas Eve and Easter. And then when I came out here, I started going to church with friends from college.
Okay.
The Christian community out here, not in Old Town, but in every other aspect, it's pretty big. And I'm like, I called up my mom and dad. I'm like, you know, there's other forms of religion besides Roman Catholicism.
Yeah.
They're like, what? I didn't know that at all. And I just, honestly, I fell in love with the testimonials. The pastors out here are great. And
You know, a couple days ago, I was hanging out with my sister. She just graduated. She got her associate's degree. Very proud of my sister. She got her associate's degree before she hasn't even graduated high school yet. So we went out and we were hanging out, getting dinner, and my little brother, I think he's in 8th grade now. And you know, there's a big difference in age between us. So it's not like I fucking hang out with my little brother all the time. Like he would come to my house, we'd play video games, and you know, I'd laugh at him playing video games. But when I hung out with him a couple days ago, it was the first time where I realized like, oh, he's about to be a man soon. He has his own personality. He what's it called when you're a Catholic and you go through the whole process of being baptized?
Confirmed?
He just got confirmed.
yeah.
Bro, he was dropping some dimes about like God and the Bible to me. And I was just like, man, that is like, I wish I had, cause I believe in God now. Like my parents and everything, they were religious, but like, I don't know why, like I never really believed, but my little brother has a foundation of God on top of the cool kid that he is. And I was just tripping out. Like he was like hitting me with Bible verses. And I was just like, damn, bro, you're a solid dude.
Dude, amen.
Yeah.
It's funny because some people are like total against it. They think you're a part of a cult.
Yeah.
And then there's the people that are all for it,
Yeah.
judging everybody else.
Bro, I hate that, like, religion has been a thing for thousands of years. And there's motherfuckers that are 25 and they're like, I got it all figured out. Like, bro, you don't know shit. You think you're smarter than, like, people for thousands of years? You know, God is real. And God is awesome. He's the dude. Like, I got to a point in my life, and I feel like this happens to a lot of people. Like, fuck, God bless the people that, like, can, like, find God without, like, fucking their whole life up. You know what I mean? But, like, I got to a point in my life where I was like, bro, I got as far as I can on my own. You know? Like, I need to start saying thank you and I'm sorry. You know, and I just need to start being appreciative of my blessings because, you know, that negative energy, it's out there and it's looking for you and it's trying to get you. And it's so easy to do. But
Well, dude, every day it's a constant learning curve. You get stuck in traffic, I'm like cursing out the guy in
Yeah,
front of me.
yeah.
Like, what am I doing?
Well, dude, every day, it doesn't matter if you were good your whole life. Today, right now, you have a choice what side of the war do you want to be on. Are you going to be on the side of good, or are you going to be on the side of evil? Are you going to balance out the universe and be positive, or are you just going to be a fucking idiot? And, you know, it's a battle every day.
Some of the content I see out today, now that I'm like baptized and going to church every Sunday, I'm seeing all of these people saying like, no matter what you have in life, no matter what your situation is, you could have the cars, the watches, the money, the girl, like none of it's yours, it's his.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, yeah, totally. Like,
Yeah.
Be a servant, don't be selfish.
Yeah.
Be a servant.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you can't take none of that with you, you know, but
Exactly.
like at the end of the day, like when you die, nobody's gonna bring up your watches and your cars, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna bring up how you treated other people. Like nobody's gonna come to your funeral because you got a Lamborghini. You know, they're gonna come to your funeral because, you know, you were a good person to them, or you inspired them, or you showed them love. Like that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And being respected for that, it's, you know, that's the most positive thing in the world, bro. You know what I mean? It's just having a positive impact on other people, being selfless. And, you know, hopefully we can continue to be that.
Don't get cocky. If you ever get big, don't get cocky on us,
Oh,
all right?
no, never that.
Don't be that. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, you
How's
man.
that O-Snap treating you, by the way?
I'm wired
The
right now,
second
bro.
I shot it,
Yeah.
I'm like, I have whiskey
Dude,
and
you know what's
caffeine in my system.
You know what's so funny is when I came over here, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get out of here by 4. I'm gonna go take a nap before the show. No.
Nope,
I'm
you're
wired
wired
up.
now.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks
wired
to
now.
us.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Hot Chick for having us. This is the O Show episode 675. Remember, we're presented by O-Snap Active Lifestyle. Follow them at O-Snap Active Lifestyle. Check us out, guys, at Jack O'Hara TV on our YouTube channel.